Good evening. My name is Lavinia and I'm the Clinical Nursing Director of the M-Word Community Interest Company. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the M-Word, which stands for, of course, mental, and just to give you an idea of what we offer as a service. The first most important thing to consider is that I am a qualified psychiatric nurse, or a mental health nurse, which is more in vogue, and I help many clients over a wide variety of mental health illness and ill health. We not only offer sort of working with depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress, postnatal depression. We also work a lot with young people from as young as the age of 4 all the way up to adulthood. We also work with young people particularly, but adults as well, who are on the spectrum, that is the autistic spectrum, or who have ADHD, or who have a combination. And certainly some of the most challenging cases that we work with tend to have a combination of autism, ADHD, and what is known as a PDA profile, which stands for a pathological demand avoidance profile. We also, yes, that's not it, we also work with military veterans who are often suffering with low mood, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress. And I felt very strongly about when I set up the company that who were vulnerable groups that weren't getting perhaps the support they needed, particularly when some people feel that they are very misunderstood and are looking for support outside of the NHS. Currently to date, I've been told that I'm the only company that offers private mental health support alongside autism, and that's a tremendous trailblazing opportunity, because I know there are many individuals out there, be it a young person or a parent struggling with their child, who are desperate for help and are just struggling to find help anywhere. Let me tell you a little bit about my team. I am extremely fortunate that we have 3 non-executive directors across the disciplines of young people, military veterans, and of course mental health. One is a consultant psychiatrist, one is obviously a military veteran himself, and the other is our wonderful mum of children who have experienced CAMS, but is also a journalist in her own right. Very lucky indeed to have them. We also have our business manager, John, who is extremely helpful and is usually your very first port of call. And he is very good at reassuring you and providing you that level of support, care and consideration as to what your needs might be. He's extremely knowledgeable, and if you ever are lucky enough to experience being able to engage with him as one of our clients, you will soon learn very quickly that actually you probably prefer to talk to him. He's very good with our clients, and they speak very fondly of him, particularly with his, shall we say, strange, interesting sense of humour. We also have Yasmin, who is our social media manager, and this is a very interesting role in that I am obviously a lot older. I'm not particularly au fait with social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and so we needed a social media manager who felt that they could take on the challenge, and Yasmin does that superbly. So very often many of the adverts or the quotes of the day or the news stories that she finds around the country around positive mental health and well-being, these are all done by her fair hand, and we are extremely grateful to have her on board. The other person who's very much behind the scenes, not really spoken about, but does a tremendous amount of work for us, is Robert, who is our web and is constantly updating things. There is constantly needing to be little tweaks. And we are very aware that for some people, they may look at the website and think, oh, that's definitely not me. But they might look at our Facebook group and think, actually, that's more me. We are very open to offers of advice, but also we are very acutely aware we are a community interest company trying to promote mental health. And what feels right for one person might not always feel right for another person. So it's a very, very fine balance, but we still welcome compliments as well as advice. And then there is me. I have been a psychiatric nurse, or a mental health nurse, like I said before, which is very in vogue. I have been a psychiatric nurse for 27 years as a qualified clinician. I'm one of the very rare psychiatric nurses who says that I have worked in every field of mental health, and I feel very fortunate that I've been able to do that experience. I love working with CAMHS, that is to say, I love working with families and young people. I feel very strongly and very passionately about the fact that actually I'd rather be helping be preventative rather than reactive. And I know that a lot of our clients come to us feeling very broken, feeling very distressed and upset, and needing some sort of support within mental health, and even more so with autism and mental health. Let me reassure you, I do know what that is like, that experience. I have the pleasure of being autistic and dyslexic myself, and obviously was very prone to having mental health issues when I was considerably younger, and have learnt over the years how to master that. What I would like to say is, please, if you're in any need of help, if you feel that you would like the opportunity to come and be under our care, we would love to have you. We love our clients very much. They are considered part of the extended family, because we believe that actually a bit of TLC can go an awfully long way, and that actually the therapeutic input that you receive from myself and other team members are extremely important to us. We are very much about quality over quantity, and we know we do that really well, but we are also very mindful of the fact that we have the standards of so many years of experience and skills and knowledge working within the NHS framework, that we know that we can provide that alongside within a private company. We also network with an awful lot of outside partnerships. Many of them are charities, some of them are community interest companies, and we're very, very, very keen to maintain that sort of partnership working, because we feel very passionately that actually knowledge and skills need to be shared so that we can empower you and we can empower others. Because quite often an experience for people with mental ill health is that although it's encouraged for you to have a say in how you have your care, invariably the systems do not allow them to be tailor-made to you. You have to kind of fit a remit, and that's not always possible. And certainly when they're taking into consideration what's going on for you, unless you fit that criteria, it's really, really difficult. But this is where the M word can step in and say, actually, you know what, we need to think about what's right for you, and what are your challenges, what are your issues, and how we can help you. The other thing I would like to say about this is that when I set this company up, I am very aware that there are lots and lots of counsellors and lots of different psychotherapists out there. And money does seem to be a bit of an issue. We don't like to talk about it, but it is. What I know is that through research, sometimes it's not the therapy. More often than not, it's the therapeutic relationship you have with a therapist. And I do believe that. And part of my secret is about working well as a partner, as a team player with my clients. I'm not there as the professional expert. I am there as a professional, most definitely, and I've got lots of experience and I've got lots of knowledge and lots of understanding. But I have a winner within my team, and that is you as my client. My client is the expert client of their life, and we make a great team. If you feel that you can interact with me, there is probably a very good chance that we can work together. And actually, the therapeutic environment does not take long for you to start feeling the benefits, for others to start seeing the benefits, where you are encouraged to think about your self-esteem, you are encouraged to think about building your confidence, but more importantly and more lastingly, building your resilience. And if we learn how to do those, then this is the way forward, how we can be more preventative when negative impacts us, and it actually allows us to think, well, actually, now what have I learned? What have I learned about me? What have I learned about my mental health? And what have I learned, if it's for you, autism, my autism? What have I learned that allows me to be able to deal with this in a way that's far more manageable, but also where I don't feel broken, I don't feel distressed or upset. I can actually deal with this in a very powerful way to feel further empowered, and that feeds into the loop again of building the confidence, building the resilience. So if I haven't managed to tell you about what we do, let me just finalise on those details. So we do mental health assessments. We offer initial screenings for those who are not quite sure whether they're sitting in the right queue or whether they're kind of thinking about the right diagnoses pathway for autism or ADHD, or indeed even the PDA profile. We also support educational healthcare plans, because for those of you in the autistic world with children with learning difficulties because of their environment that's not suitable for them, you know how important those educational healthcare plans are. And I would reiterate, you do not need to have a formal diagnosis, you need to identify a need, and this is where we work with many partners to try and support you. Obviously we do a package of care, whether that's working with autism and mental health or whether it's just pure mental health, ill health, it doesn't really matter. And then at the end of the packages of care, we obviously offer a review, because sometimes it's good to see that you can go it alone, but also it's good to know that you can come back and just check in and see how you're doing, and to just make sure that we've just tweaked the last little bits for you to kind of go alone. We also obviously offer through the website, we have webinars talking about top tips, sometimes interviewing parents who have gone through the process and are able to share their life stories, which is a very powerful opportunity for others to connect and feel that things resonate far better than a professional doing the chat. We also do live Facebooks, which of course is a bit nerve-wracking, but there we go. It's one of those things that I just have to get over my anxiety and keep doing it, because I know how helpful sometimes these sessions can be for you out there. And we also write blogs. So if you're unsure and you want a bit more information, you can either go to our website, which is www.the-wordcic.co.uk. That again is www.the-m-word.cic.co.uk. Alternatively, you can join us through our Facebook group, or indeed TikTok, or Instagram, or Twitter, or LinkedIn. You can find us somewhere. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.